Oh, just like that.
Hey, yo.
Jeremy, how are we?
I'm
Mr.
doing good, brother. Sorry,
Mr. West
texting
Coast.
James.
Oh, isn't he? What time is it there? Like, shouldn't he be in bed or
In
something?
Australia?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know the conversion for
it
Australian
is
time.
about 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock in the morning. I remember that's I. If you would have quizzed me and I would have thought about that long enough, I think we would have figured it out. He actually did the rad show with us one night, and I forgot it was like 10 o'clock in the morning the next
Yep.
day. Yeah,
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. Well, as always, I am Mike here with the co-host with the mostest, the brother from another, at ease. Did we come up with a name? Are we going barracks? Did Heidi
No,
give that the stamp of approval?
she said no.
She said no to it. Did you
No.
get to name it?
So it's the 3 shot.
The 3 shot. One,
Three
two,
shot.
three, 3 shot. 1, 2, 3
3
shot.
shot.
Oh.
So if you're in tune with military stuff, the 3 shot is operations. So everything operations. They control logistics, they control human resources, planning, all that stuff. So this is the 3 shot because that's what I do in here. Operations. As you can see, the printers move. This is the op cell. So it is now the 3 shot.
We'll take it. I like it. So, live from the West Coast, we have at ease RC. How are you?
Doing good.
Did you get a chance to do any RCing out there? Obviously, you've had the time to set the backdrop up. Jeremy's got the shelf up and ready
Yep.
to go.
Yep. Cars are there, printers are there, and internet's working. I
checking
actually
things off one at a time.
got the Elvis tractor completed. It's up and running, so I'm going to run that this evening when the sun goes down. I get like an hour, a golden hour at sunset to 8:30, where there's no blazing sun in my backyard, and I can actually crawl in my backyard.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and just to enjoy that sunset, like with that
Yeah.
scenery, with that Colorado mountain in the background, and well, it's breathtaking.
Nevada, it's the Nevada mountains.
No, sorry.
Nevada, yeah. I'm a little too far from Colorado. That's like 13 hours.
Yeah, what is it? Is it literally? Oh, this is the first time I'm bringing this up. Is that literally like Area 51 lurking in the distance? Please tell me yes.
That would be further east.
Okay.
Yeah, that's New Mexico.
You are out there. No freaking street lights. You are in the dark zone. You better have both eyes up in the sky all times.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the cool shit out there in the desert.
Yeah.
What the hell is he talking about? KY jelly. What that's gotta be something. He's gotta be talking.
Kentucky jelly.
Oh, KY jelly.
Kentucky, you gotta stay in context. Especially with Jeremy.
Oh goodness.
Stay in context.
And good old Chad. All right, people. You didn't come here for us. We got somebody in the Busted Rust Garage, Austin. He's definitely been doing some cool stuff. Original. We'll take a look at what the hell he's been doing for sure. And he did the this whole thing came about because he hosted at Mudfest 25. He was a part of the whole show and shine.
Yep.
I feel terrible. It didn't go off, I don't think. Like, it was just Mother Nature had other plans.
It was a little wet.
Yeah.
It was a little wet.
A lot of audibles and just trying to get through it. And I still, they did their part and tried to do it. So we will be happy to hear more about what he's been doing. So And once we get here, Jeremy, we'll go into detail. If you got anything new or exciting, we can do that all while Austin's hanging out with us. I can recap the day out there at Ringing Rock. Not that I have a whole lot to say. Timmy Durr's birthday. So big shout out to local cat Timmy Durr. Soupy came out. We had the most of the EPA crew
Dang.
doing their thing out there at kind of a pre-Blue Rock kind of vibe. That's the best way I.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ringing Rock's always a good time.
Yeah.
Did you take a hammer with you?
I did not.
What are you doing?
I know. I fail. Well, when you have it in our backyard, the novelty's not there. It's not like we're driving far to get there. It's literally 20 minutes away. But that's still no excuse. I should have a hammer at all time in the sling bag.
Should have a hammer.
I'm adding that to my notes. I'm adding
Just get a little
small
tiny
little
hammer.
That's all it is. It's a little dinger.
Ding.
All right, you're never too old to bang a hammer on a rock. Remember that. That it's.
Not trying to break it, just trying
The
to ring
last
it.
question I have for you, Jeremy, was: did you participate yesterday in National Donut Day? Did you get a chance to take a break and enjoy
No.
a donut? Really?
No.
Well, I had 2 of them, so I had one for you.
No. I had a cannoli. I did not eat a donut.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. I have donuts here, but I didn't eat one. I don't know what I was thinking.
National Donut Day.
I
It's
know.
crazy. I love looking at all the national stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like National Avocado Day, National,
Yeah.
Marry
Every
Your
day.
Dog Day.
Every day is something.
Honestly, it's like a dozen things. It's ultimate. It's like super confusing because I'll get in fights with people. It's not that day. It's Donut Day. Well, it's also A, B, C, D, and E. This. Oh well. All right. Let's make some room for Austin. So this was that pre-warning we were going to give you, buddy. Get yourself squared away. We're going to do a 9-second little transition, and we will come to you.
Fixing the hat, cleaning the glasses.
Yes. You ready? Get yourself.
We'll do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
I just have to ride it out and wait.
Missed it again.
At least we warned you. We said it's going to be a little scattered. Don't say a word until we get everybody positioned, till we get the Brady Bunch screen laid out right.
Yeah.
We will give you every opportunity to tell us who you are. So take it away, my friend. The stage is yours.
Well, it's awesome to be here, man. I thank y'all for having me here on the show.
One
of the things I've definitely been looking forward to since hearing about you all a few years ago. Carryall, man, is definitely something I seen years ago, and definitely a thing for the market. But thanks again for having me. It's been pretty busy today, trying to get this boom truck actually got it about done. I just got the new station wagon L88 BRX02. So I've been working on that pretty hard today, trying to get that done because I have some other stuff in line to do for some buddies. And so, but yeah, man, just been enjoying the hobby and working on stuff and playing as much as I can.
Austin, do you get commissioned to build often for others? Is that kind of your MO?
No, actually, I just people hit me up and ask, hey, what would you charge to do this? And I tell them a price, and either they say yay or say nay. So I'm not done a whole lot of work. I usually try to keep it, kind of small, but it's definitely, you don't want to turn it into something that you wouldn't enjoy no more. So I still try to just keep it here and there, as times come. You know, if somebody wants something, usually it's buddies. I've done a few things for.
Okay.
I've done some stuff for Joe Hauke. You know, we're real good friends with them and known them for 9-10 years and built a good relationship with them as well. So I've done a few things for them. Chris Smith down in towards I can't really remember his name, but he runs 23 RC. He's usually a vendor of stuff at Beat the Creek. Great guy. I've done a few things for him, but mostly just buddies or people I know or something. But yeah, no commission. Just usually try to treat people fair though.
Well, that's the thing that happens with painters. I mean, how often do you hear Fishing Bill griping because he never gets a chance to do anything for himself? So you got to thread that needle. You don't want to be constantly doing side projects because you never get anything done for yourself.
Yeah. That's usually why I try not to take on too much because there's stuff I want to do or that I've got in my collection that I want to work on or change or whatever. So it's nice to work on your own stuff as well. And you get excited about, especially when you have like a new kid or something, or, something's come along that you've got a hold of or something and you want to make your changes to it. So it's always exciting.
Well, you said boom right out of the gate. You got Jeremy's ears to perk up. Was this a recent thing? Did you purchase this at Beat the Creek or are you
actually a friend of mine had it still in the box and I had a truck that he liked and we ended up swapping. So when I got it, it was still in the package. I actually had to break the seal on it.
Unbelievable. Do I
Does
dare ask?
The
I gotta ask.
D110?
What's that?
The D110 station wagon?
It's the little one, like Jeremy Griffiths has got the little station wagon.
Oh, the 88.
Yeah, the 88.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's the second boom truck that I first built a long wheelbase, the more pickup truck style.
Mm-hmm.
I come across that pretty much the same way. It was brand new in the box. Guy had it and opened it up and said this was too much for him. So that was the first boom truck that I built. And then Jeremy ended up with it. Jeremy Griffith ended up getting it. Me and him done a little swap and he ended up with it. And then after seeing his 88 a few weeks ago at his house, we had a little scale run at his house. And after seeing his 88 and, short wheelbase, and I knew this guy had this one, and I was like, it ended up working out pretty good. So
Nice.
So, and they are, it took me, I built the chassis last Friday night. It took me about 3 hours. I stayed constant on it. It took about 3 hours, a little over, to build it from, beginning to end. And that was little electronics and everything. That was up and running. I built it in about 3 hours. And then today I started on the body and have worked on it probably about 6 hours. Paint, weathering, covering the seats, doing my thing to it. So got a few more little details to do to it and she'll be ready to rock.
Yeah, and you never want to rush it. I mean, that's
no.
whole. It's really the joy of the build. Too many times I rush through parts of it, and it's like, you know what? What am I rushing for? I'm actually enjoying this.
Yeah, I always take consideration of what my buddy said. He's like, when it comes to building a scale truck or painting or anything, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. So
very true.
I usually try to stick to that motto. If I'm feeling it, I hit it, and I hit it pretty hard. And then if I don't, then I don't do it.
Okay, hey, I like that advice. Too many times mistakes are made and I end up shoe-gooing everything on and taking shortcuts. It's like, if I'm not
shoe-goo is awesome.
When in doubt, shoe-goo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shoe-goo is awesome, man. We go through that stuff so much. It seems like, man.
I still piss my pants every time I see the scale shift from Crawler Colt with the 1 gallon size go bottles next to the blinker fluid. I mean, bravo.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of their stuff as well. I love their stuff, man, what Mark and them do.
Just to bring a little humor. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Laugh at yourself a bit. It's funny.
Yeah, definitely.
There's enough fire extinguishers and like gas tanks or gas cans that everybody's printing.
Bed rolls.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun seeing something else.
Some
Yeah,
logs.
it's one of them things. It's definitely a different approach to the hobby, and I support him through and through. I tell him all the time, do what you got to do, man. And it's one of them things. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's nobody's holding you to do anything. So I tell people all the time, there's no right or wrong in this hobby. So enjoy it either way you want to do it.
Yep.
Bingo. So
100%.
Jeremy told us the name of his new place. I'm in the doghouse, and is this Busted Rust? Is this like the name of your shop, or so Busted Rust is your hangout? Are you in that shop right now?
Yeah, it's just my little spare bedroom in the house that my wife was gracious enough to let me have. So we call it the shop. So
I'm like counting my clock like until the kids move out. I'm like, that's kind of cruel. Like that's that final dagger, like, Dad, I just went away to college. I didn't know you were kicking me out.
You're out of here.
Well, the thing with us, like my best friend Don, which he's part of, me and him started the Busted Rust Garage thing, and so half of the stuff in here is his as well. So he has no room or place to put anything. So half of his stuff is also in this room as well. So and my wife tells us all the time, you're only running out of room. I don't know where you're gonna put it. I said, I'll find a spot. I'll find a hole in the wall somewhere.
We'll just build more shelves.
Yes, I've had to do that because we got into besides RC trucks, having all our scale trucks, we got pretty hard into collecting 164 stuff as well. And
I see that.
That's what some of that is.
Yeah.
I've been collecting Hot Wheels for years, and then when I found out there was customization in that as well, opened up a whole nother box. So
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I like when people talk about other parts of their life. Yeah, we know you're an RC guy, but you got to have something else that makes you get out of bed. Is it often that you two get to wrench together, or
every Friday night usually?
Really? That's awesome.
So
Like,
we've kept that tradition. So we've had about 3-4 good friends that have hobby shops over the years, and one of our really good friends, the last guy to have a hobby shop, actually gave me and Don a room in the back of his shop to do whatever with. He's like, y'all do what you want, decorate it. You can put all your trucks down here. I had a key to the shop, so every Friday night we hung out at the shop, and then after hours, me and Don hung out, worked on stuff, or sat and talked, or whatever. And then when he had to close his shop due to health issues, me and Don just kept that tradition. So I was like, well, we get a hobby room, and you can just come over on Friday nights, and we'll just keep doing what we've always done. So that's what we do.
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm really jealous of that, especially if you have one that's better at something than the other that you can help each other out. I mean, I know if I'd be wrenching with Jeremy, I'd be sliding all my electronic shit his way. Like, go do that 90-45 degree angle stuff that
Yeah.
you
Now I usually do have to do all the soldering, but I'm cool with that. But heck, I mean, when I was building the boom truck, he helped me with, I was doing this, and
he can wrench
yeah.
away on some Max.
Yeah, I was like, here, Don, you mind to put this together while I do this? And he threw in a little bit of time as well on the 88. So, and that's what's cool about having him. We vibe off each other a lot, bounce ideas off each other.
Even better.
So it's good to have somebody else. I mean, I spend some time up here by myself too, but we just got other things going on as well. So Friday night, I look forward to Friday is, letting Don come over, and we'll stay in this room till 2-3 in the morning. I mean, we've done it many a times, and just trying to, either working on current stuff, or he's got new builds he wants to do or whatever. So I've got stuff that I want to do. So Friday nights is our night that's our shop night. So we've held that tradition for quite a few years, actually. I met Don through off-road racing. I spent about 8 or 9 years racing off road competitively, and I met Don through racing, and then we've just stuck together ever since, man. And we both quit racing, and the scale thing in RC trucks was always in the back of my mind. That was where my heart was. And it's just racing was a good, we just had a good time because we had a lot of good friends, a good group of guys that we hung out with, and we all raced together. So that's why racing, I did that for so long. And then when I quit racing, I went full blown, started, the Busted Rust Garage thing. Me and Don got that. And then we just been working on scale trucks, and that's pretty much it.
Does Don have his own Instagram page, or is that Busted Rust your joint
Yeah,
page?
it's just pretty much, he falls underneath that pretty much.
Okay.
And then my buddy Eric, that helped me build the shop truck, he's pretty much part of it too. We got a couple of us that, our group used to be really huge, and we had a thing called Kentucky Trail Stompers, and we had probably 35 guys, anywhere 30 to 35 guys that we all knew each other, and that was just our group. And then, people went through changes, health issues or life changes, so then they got out of RC, and then that group just kind of went away. So then when we started Buster Rust Garage, it was just, a few of the OGs left is what we say. So so we've gotten a few people into it now, some friends, some younger guys that have been hanging with us too. And but when it comes to Busted Rust Garage, it's more likely me and Don, and we tell Eric he's part of it too. So because Eric helps us a lot, and he's always willing to contribute any kind of help, any whatsoever. And so he's taught me a lot with painting and stuff. So.
Oh, fantastic. Is he airbrush or spray?
He strictly airbrushes.
Strictly airbrush. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, he was the one that built the bed for the shop truck. He's a styrene master. So.
Well, you mentioned shop truck like 3 times in the last minute, so we're going to take that as a segue to tee it off here. We're going to go into that shop truck. That's why we all came. Lay it out. Like, what's the story behind it? At some point, I got to imagine RC every day has got to fall into this story somewhere somehow. I can't look at that thing without like getting some kind of RC everyday vibe off of it, but that's just me.
That truck came along because of Josh. Got to be friends with him as well, and then when Jeremy Griffith had a little event at his house, Josh came down because they're really tight, and so Josh was able to come down, and he brought his OG shop truck with him. This was before his chassis, before he came out with the shop truck chassis rails. So he had that truck with him on his table, and I've loved that truck from the first time I seen it. And I went over and I was like, man, you got to tell me, what did you, same thing, like, what did you do to build that truck, or what is it on? What chassis is on that truck to get it so low? And he's like, oh, it's just to me a TT02. And I was like, really? We used to race them on carpet. And I was like, wow. And he's like, I just cut it in half. And he told me exactly what he done. He's like, I just went to Lowe's and bought, this aluminum angle iron. He exactly told me what to buy. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna build something, but not like yours. I want to build a utility truck. I want to build something different. I didn't want to. I was like, your truck is awesome. I love what you've done, but not to try to do what you did. I'll do something different. And so I got a hold of a TT02. As soon as I opened the box, I cut it in half and started building the chassis. And then I bought the RC four-wheel drive Blazer, cut it in half. Used the shrink RC stuff to make it a pickup truck cab. And then after I got it all mocked up, figured out how I was wanting to do it, I went to Eric and asked him, I was like, hey, how you feel about building a utility bed? You think you can build one of them? Oh, no problem. Man, that's just a box. That's no big deal. So me and him went to, got some ideas together. I told him what I was thinking, what I was after. And I left the truck with him, in its state of, just a mock-up stage. I didn't really mount anything because I didn't know if he needed to move anything or whatever he needed to do to make the bed. So about a week went by, and he started sending me pictures of every stage, and next thing I know, I had a utility bed.
Dang.
So
Fast.
after the utility bed, he actually even put it on magnet mounts, so I can pull the bed off to put a battery and stuff without pulling the cab. So then I brought it back home and started finishing it, painting, doing all the detail work, interior, and finishing it up. And then, so after I got that truck built, I told Don, I was like, that's going to be our, that's going to be our mascot. That's going to be our truck that kind of hopefully, just kind of put us out there to let people know what, how we've enjoyed the hobby and stuff. So that's,
is this a pre-paint shot of that utility bed here?
yeah, that's in primer stage. Yep.
And that is done in styrene.
Completely out of styrene.
Bro. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the paint. I tried scrolling through there to find some still shots of it, but that gives people an idea of what we're dealing with. That's impressive. And a perfect collab, like working together, being inspired by, what Josh was doing, taking a page from his playbook and doing your own thing. Bravo. Very cool. Have you entered that thing in a show and shine yet? Has it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's been it was at we done it. I had it at Beat the Creek, and what's funny is after we built that truck, Don wanted to build a Toyota. So we built a slammed extra cab for him, and so when we got that truck done, we took it to Beat the Creek show and shine, and that truck won over the shop truck. And it's actually won a few awards. His truck has actually been with the shop truck and beat out the shop truck. I was like, maybe it's just because it's so nice, because we left his shiny and, we didn't patina it or nothing. He's not as big as into that stuff as I am. So I aggravate him all the time. I'm like, I'm just going to stop packing your Toyota with us every time we got a plan of putting stuff in the show. But yeah, it's, so, and like I said, luckily we've been, had the opportunity to own Josh's OG shop truck. So they're all together now, so yeah, there it is. That's what it looks like now. So the last thing I done to it was put the Chevrolet hubcaps on it. That was the finishing touch I had to do to it.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, it passes the smell
There's
test.
hubcaps.
I'm assuming nothing is functional on that utility bed, correct?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
I could have. When Eric was building the bed, that was one of the questions he asked me. He's like, "Do you want doors and stuff to open, or I can do all that?" I was like, "No, it's okay. I just want it to be more of a static look. I'm not really worried about stuff opening and all that really on it, because it travels with us a lot. So
I
less is more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how extreme I got with my styrene building. I like probably build a cube or something like.
And it probably wasn't square.
Yeah, exactly.
It might have been a little out of square, but that's all right.
I was like, Mike built something out of styrene? What?
Attempted.
So, it's funny about, so when Eric builds anything from styrene, he uses cereal boxes for templates. So he sent me pictures of cut up cereal boxes. Like, your bed ended up costing me I had to eat 2 boxes of cereal to make your bed.
What a great way to repurpose
the cardboard.
something. I like that. And the cardboard's like the perfect.
So he made he completely made the utility bed out of cardboard first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he went back, took all the pieces, took the cardboard utility bed all back apart, and then started scoring and making his styrene parts. And then that's when
That's smart.
So I was like, man, what little bit of styrene work I've done, I was like, I've never thought of that. He's like, well, there's no point of, messing up like styrene because it can get expensive. He's like, I do everything out of cardboard first and make my templates. It's if you mess it up, it's easy to cut. You're not ruining anything. So
and honestly, that makes it keeps everything in scale.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you try to replicate a utility bed, it may be bigger or smaller depending on the cab that you're using. So
yeah,
I know that these trucks are a weird scale. So
yeah.
He
knocked it out of the park, man. I had I knew what he could do, but after seeing it, and I mean, it was the scale of it's just so. I mean, it's so perfect. The truck I actually that I built that from is a guy on Instagram. The real truck is called the Janitor, and it's a newer model square body. So I based my shop truck off of that. I just love the way his truck looked, and it just the yellow and being old patinaed. It was an old, I think it was like an old high school truck or something that he bought off of high school. They just retired the truck and had been sitting, and he bought it, cut it up, slammed it on the ground, and he drives it all the time. So when I started building that, and I was already following him on Instagram, he's hit me up like probably 4 or 5 times, and he's like, "You go to sell it. I got first dibs because I would love to have that truck with my real truck when I go to shows." So, but after I put our name on the door, it's permanent here now. So,
it's smart. Tag it. It's yours.
Yeah.
But that's that's exactly the way Jeremy would build it. Get a ton of reference photos, and 99% of the time he's building off of something he's seen on YouTube.
Yeah.
That bug, Jeremy, is the one that's coming to mind. The one that you even gifted to them when it was done. Shout out, who was that? The Golden Nugget or some shit.
Well, I've done a couple of them. I did the Suzuki, the Golden Nugget that was on Matt's Off-Road Recovery on that channel that they rebuilt, and was actually able to drive it with Ed the last time I went to Sand Hollow. So that was pretty cool.
It was built off of what? The Jimny?
It's the Jimny. Yeah.
Really? It
that was the
started out
Golden
as
Nugget.
that was the FMS
Jimny.
18th scale.
Yep.
$300 18th scale FMS Jimny.
Not the 18th. It's the full size.
Oh, gotcha. That the big gray or tan. I'm sorry, that beige one. Okay.
I was thinking of the little green one.
No, not the little one. No. So we just call them all samurais.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a SJ410 Jimny. That's the new Jimny. That's the current model of the Jimny.
Right. Yeah, I know the
one that I did was the old version.
It's like $200. There's like a Father's Day special happening for that one again. They're always trying to unload that thing for like $200.
Which is a smoking deal if you're just using the body.
Yeah.
And people are cutting it, trying to do your mod and take the leaves off of it and figure out how to Dremel it and get that thing on their FJ40.
Yeah, I bought another one and then swapped the leaf suspension off of it to the mash again to make the YJ a YJ.
Gotcha.
To make it leaf sprung. But
the
other one I did that was a inspiration off of Instagram was the Wiseman Beetle. It's the sand colored Beetle with all the metal work on it. It's got it's like the ultimate Baja. If you look up Wiseman Beetle on Instagram, you'll find it.
All right.
But that guy did a killer job on the real one, and I used that one as the inspiration for the FMS, the people's car.
Like what is it? Wiseman.
Wise.
Wise.
W-I-S.
Wise
man.
Wise guy.
Wise. Well, and Jerry, not to keep going on you, but what was the other one that you did with the old Bronco or
Big Ole?
Big Ole too.
Big Ole Bronco.
Nice.
So my point is valid. much like Jeremy, getting reference photos and getting inspired by a one-to-one. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and then you put your own little clever touch too.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a replica. It's your version of what you could do.
Yeah. I use reference stuff all the time. Like not like you said, not for exact replica, but just like looking at stuff, where it might rust or where it weathers here, or what, just to get some ideas of, what the truck looks like in a rougher state. Because like I said, all of my stuff is I don't have hardly anything nice as far as paint. But
yeah, there was actually a challenge issued for that's the Beetle that I did.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But there was actually a challenge issued for you to do a nice paint job rather than a patina job. So I don't know. Maybe that's something you guys can work out as a challenge for next year, to work outside of your norm for Beat the Creek show truck.
Yeah.
So you're saying an actual category in the show and try? Is that what you're referring to?
Not a category, just a friendly bet amongst friends, like
to stop patina.
Like you're always doing patina work. Well,
yeah.
now you're going to do
windshields and
30 layer deep clear coat on
glossy
candy
yeah.
paint. The guys that build monster trucks build a lowrider.
Oh yeah.
Things like that to get you to understand the different ways that people build.
Mm-hmm. Now I've painted some nice stuff for friends, and I've done some nice things for them. Like recently, I just painted a extra cab, Toyota extra cab that my buddy was putting on a Vanquish truck, and I painted that for him and cleared it and everything like that. But and not that I have anything against that. It's just my thing is just I just love old stuff and old patina stuff and.
It is, and Jeremy's point's valid. It's nice to I get locked in these rhythms where I'm painting everything like white, red, and black, and now I'm turning around. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Like I need to find some blue or something in my life. I need another color, like
different color. Yeah.
And you don't. I never do it intentionally. It just sort of happens. And my other fail is whenever I'm coming up with a paint scheme, I come up with an idea, and it turns out I've seen it somewhere else. It's usually the RTR box model. Like when I painted my gatekeeper in this like matte chrome look panel, I turned around like, son of a bitch, that was on the it's on the RTR box. I've seen it somewhere. It wasn't my idea.
You done did the box art.
Yeah, subliminally, it was like planted in my brain. I didn't even realize it.
It's like when I was painting.
Yeah, Jamie Wiseman, check him out.
Yeah.
That's
that car's name is El Burro.
I saw that.
El Burro.
Yeah, no, I guess he must do apparel and stuff. But
yeah.
But yeah, that was a collab with Wes, and when you got that thing together, and these people like really enjoyed, So that's
Castle had that car for almost a year at their headquarters. They were passing it around on desks.
And you were able to slip a micro in there somewhere?
Yeah, when the Micro X2 first came out.
Nice.
I had it and a 5-channel receiver, fully functional, dual motor. Those cars only come with one motor, so I put dual motor in it. It's 4-wheel drive. It was a pretty good project. Those cars are intense when you take them apart.
Oh.
There's like 1,000 pieces to those little Volkswagens, like no lie, and every screw is a different size. It's like maddening to keep it straight.
Well, and the first time you look at them in like with the Suzuki Jimny, where it's functional like it, like it's full detail, blinkers, everything, and you can't see a wire anywhere.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's because there's 1,000 pieces hiding it somewhere.
Yeah.
routed.
Yes.
It's all kinds of channels and all kinds of stuff. Wires are hit in.
It never goes back together the same way.
Yeah.
Never.
I had a few leftover screws. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm not putting that back in. That's silly.
I've been there before.
So we had a question from Harvey. If you're using photo etched brass for detail items or resin. You know what he means by photo etched brass? It's like the emblems on the side of the truck. Giuseppe does them.
Yes, I have not yet got any of them yet, but
Okay.
Yeah. I usually I just use like it's obviously for drive stuff. I just use whatever emblems they got. But
Okay.
But I've actually got a truck in the process of doing that I'm working on. It's a GCM C-Max 2 that I'm building, and it's going to be a GMC, and I'm wanting to get the correct GMC emblems and stuff from that guy you was talking about. I think
Giuseppe.
Yeah,
he's the man.
Yeah, he is the man. He's got everything you can think of. So.
Yep.
Does he have an Instagram also?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. I've seen it posted somewhere. If anybody knows who it is,
he's more of a Facebook guy.
Yeah, he is more of a Facebook.
Oh, was he Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember some of his posts were a little like a reel, kind of behind the scenes, showing him going through the process a bit, not revealing all the secrets, but obviously they're handmade and he's the man.
Yeah.
From all those little detail accent pieces, if you're looking for like scale keys.
Oh yeah.
They're just cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're sized right. You get a set of car keys. You get like he does really great work.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I'm like I said, the C-Max I'm actually working on now I'm wanting to get some emblems for that, so it'd be correct, GMC.
So that was kind of the question I was going to ask you next. Is that the one that's on your build plate right now? That's the one.
Actually, the
boom one was.
Yeah, the boom has been. I've got like 3 or 4 trucks in the process of going.
Yeah, that's usually how it has to be. You hit a dead end somewhere, and
I'm actually, with my GMC truck, the C-Max truck, I'm actually waiting. I'm letting my buddy, he's painting it for me. Eric's painting it, and then I'm going to do all the weathering and all that to it.
He's going to patina this one.
I'm not going to go crazy with this one. I've actually named it Barn Find, so I'm going to try to keep it towards like a light patina, like it's been sitting in a barn. Someone's pulled it out, and going to start trying to fix it, drive it, stuff like that. So not too crazy.
Have you followed Dirt Lifestyle?
I do not.
So Dirt Lifestyle on YouTube, great channel. He got an 88 Series 2, basically a barn find, and then put better axles and stuff like that. He calls it the Yeti. That's like one of the snow wheelers. Yeah. And that is a fantastic looking truck. Like those big Tundra tires and all. It's a cool looking truck. It's like that mint green.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing I've learned with like what Mike was saying earlier with painting stuff. I'm like, I was trying to think of a paint job for this boom truck, and I'm like, man, I've got blues and I've got greens, and and it's like I'm gonna go orange. So I wasn't sure if they made an orange one, and I actually did find some pictures of a real one that was orange. So
that's why that one's chrome, because I couldn't decide on the color. So I made it look like it was polished out.
Yeah, that's the one that Josh fell in love with.
Yes, that's the puppy dog.
Yep,
that's the puppy dog.
That done it for him on the boom trucks.
Yeah.
He's like,
I couldn't get away from him. I thought he was going to steal it.
I'd say if he wasn't looking, he probably would have.
He's trying to trade me TF2s and stuff. And I was like, I don't want that.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, if you want to know TF2s, he is the man on TF2s.
Yeah. He has a love-hate relationship with them. I think he loves to hate them.
Yep. Yep.
But it's reciprocal. They love him back.
Yeah.
They treat him very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a little magnet plate the last time we were down in Georgia with the Rock Zombies. I think it was the April before last, and I had a little magnet that I had swinging underneath the bumper of my of the expedition truck, just to pick up all the hardware that the TF2s were leaving on the ground. Inside joke on leaf spring trucks. Like, if the screws aren't falling out, you ain't driving it.
Yeah, I've got a few myself, so I can't knock them too bad. I've got a few jobs. I tell people all the time though when they get one, they're like, "What's like Mike said earlier when we was talking the other day is what do I need to do?
Check the TF2.
Check the TF2. Check the if you get an RTR, go back and thread lock everything.
Take it all apart.
Honestly, shout out Bert from A&M. I really haven't met anyone that doesn't talk about TF2 without muttering A&M somewhere in the sentence.
One of my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite TF2s I have is all decked out with A&M stuff.
Yeah, I got one around here somewhere.
I got one.
It's a little over the top.
I did do the I did do the A&M, all the A&M stuff. I went and put the narrowed beef tube AR-44s underneath it. And I've done some. It's more of, it's not anywhere stock, but I wanted to build a more, being leaf sprung, I wanted to build one that was a little bit more competitive, even though I don't do anything like that. I just wanted to have one that was more decked out. And most of the rest of my TF2s are pretty much, as far as suspension and stuff, still stock. So
performance scale.
You
want it to work.
Yeah, performance scale. So and then so that's the only TF2 that I got that's really got a whole lot done to it as far as performance upgrades and stuff. Other than that, I've kept the other trucks to stock. Take a leaf out, a couple leaves out, take the springs out of the shocks, and drive it. So
drive it. Work it in.
Yep.
I was gonna come up with a color suggestion. Sorry, I gotta take a detour real fast. I was gonna throw in that like lime green, that Scaltra green, Jeremy. I'm not suggesting that color came to my mind, but what happened to me today with the Scaltra app is my beta expired. Do we need to be, once the beta was up, are we supposed to ditch that and do something else? Is that okay?
Yeah. You just transfer over to the real app.
Gotcha.
Your username and login stays the same.
It's still there. All this stuff in your garage is already there. It's just
I've got everything. Okay. I've got everything downloaded. I'm waiting on our next time to go out so I can try it. The Scaltra app.
It's just that
it's totally fun. And if you're standing still and you're driving on a course or something, just put your phone in the car. Put it in the truck. get you some tracking of how far your truck is driving, even if you're standing still. Not really the object. I'm just saying.
Right. It's just that extra, something different. And it's kind of fun when there's a couple of people on the run that at least somebody reminds you. And that's how it was today. Shout Richard. He's like, hey, I guess we should run the Scaltra app. And great idea. No go. I'm like, this is something I gotta deal with at home. I gotta ditch this and upload the new version. And then
if your user's on there, you can do a group. So if 3 of you are running together, 2 of you are running together, or 20 of you are running together, if you're all doing the same thing, you can do it as a group. you can add members to that trail run,
So,
if they're already a member of Scale Trail,
Okay.
okay.
and you
So
can
that's
share your trail that way.
Okay.
That was one of the
So,
recent things that we were working on.
and that's interesting. Now, not 3 people need to be running
Right.
the apps.
Right.
That so you're will that share to your wall then also? Is it or
Yeah, like any of the pictures you
as long as
take or
you're
whatever.
tagged? Yep.
Yeah,
No,
just,
that's
you
a
have
cool.
like a group leader, and then they can add the people to that. That way, you're only using one phone for tracking
Way to
purposes.
solve a problem I didn't even know I had yet. I like
And
Yeah.
and you can send them an email and say, hey, I want to make a local challenge, and they'll make a local challenge for you, and people can just join that challenge as well. Like if you're an event coordinator or you do weekly runs or monthly outings for your club, you can do a local challenge too. So
Okay.
it's printer.
Yep.
Printer's
Um,
done.
I was glad to say that sounds like a printer.
That was yep. The A1 is produced another part.
Yeah, I mean it's that printing stuff has come a long ways. It's oh man, I don't have a printer. I've had to
Jeremy
make
has one for you. He's starting a print farm over there.
Yeah. Third one's on the way. H2D is ordered and in shipping.
Wow.
I've got some buddies that print, but other than that, stuff that I've
Now, I've heard this reasoning today. Somebody else said, if I got buddies that will do it for me, I'm just saying, you already know the secret, Austin. They're plug and play. If you got the room, yeah, they're
I'd love to have one.
Yeah, I'm
So, and you use the printer. 3D printers have like you need a use case, right? So if you around the house, I've printed dozens of objects around this new house. Like the little, it's windy here, right? I know I'm on a tangent here, but it's windy here. I have gates that block off areas of the yard because of the pole. And one of those poles for the gate is missing the cap. So I'm sitting outside and I'm listening to the wind blow across the top of a pole. You know what that sounds like?
Yep.
Like all day long. Like you're blowing across the Coke bottle. So I measured it up. I made a very rudimentary cap, 3D printed it out of PETG, popped it in there, done. So it took problem solved, right? So now I'm looking for problems to solve with my printer. So I'm making, there's just a lot of uses beyond RC.
Oh yeah.
My neighbor has a yeah, you're showing up. So my neighbor has a nice collection of firearms, and he wall racks a lot of the firearms. So I made him a nice little stand that's actually just finished on the printer. A nice little stand that puts the magazine well stand for firearms, for pistols, and he loved it. And like that was just a nice way to repay a neighbor for all the great stuff they're doing for me, like my lasagna dinner that's ready, homemade lasagna for when we're done. But things like that.
Yeah, there's like you said, there's so many other uses for them than just RC.
Yeah, I've done a couple like little vent caps and stuff in the house, for the dryer, one for and I have those materials. And I'm thinking about making a set of Crocs next. So yeah, I'm going to put the Reef Shield logo in it instead of the holes. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Did you say you want to print Crocs?
Yeah, you can print shoes.
Yeah, I've seen these. Yeah.
So they have faux Crocs, that are that basic design, but I want to change the circle holes to the Reef Shield.
Yeah,
and then I'll have them at Proline by the Fire in October.
Nice. And then you'll have to make Sharif some.
Yes. The whole point is Brock. If you know Brock LaRouche, he hates Crocs with a passion. So I'm going to make him a set of Brocks. So a little, little fun stuff for the team guys. But,
Oh yeah, they're good. Another good group of guys as well. We run reefs and everything, and I've had so much good luck with reefs, over the years, and servos and stuff. I've actually had a truck that had the original when they first come out with the 422s. It had the goldish. Yeah.
Yep.
That was my first reef servo I ever bought.
Oh, the 422?
Yeah. The little gold.
Yep.
Yep.
The plastic end caps, on the servo, and
Yep. I got one over there in the box.
And that servo I'd never had an issue out of it. And we always used to use Spectrum when we was racing, and then got into the trail trucks. We always used the Savox, my bad, Savox.
Savox, yeah.
Savox.
Yeah.
And man, they were just so noisy. And
make your ears bleed.
This wasn't as smooth. And then the first time we got to hold a reef servo in our hand and see how smooth it was, we were sold. And then so now when we build stuff, that's the servo we usually go with. It's just been good servo.
Here's a little secret. On the Reef's website, you can, if you search Red Cat, you may still find in stock 422s that were labeled for Red Cat.
Ah, yeah, I remember when they was doing them.
And they're very reasonably priced.
Okay.
So if you're looking for 422s, like in the boom trucks, honestly, a 422 is fine. It's a leaf truck.
Mm-hmm.
Raw 500 would be like the max I would ever put in one. So 422s is usually what I put in them.
Yeah, same here.
Great little servo for scale trucks, and like I said, reasonably priced. If you can find the Red Cat ones, they're collectible, but they're very reasonably priced. Mm-hmm. Just throwing that out there.
I remember
still in stock.
I remember when they was putting them in the Red Cats and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Gen 8.
Shout out Jeff Johns.
It's as far as electronics, we was talking about servos. I'd been brushed, for the scale trucks for a long time, but man, I've been really liking been putting the Fusion SEs and stuff, and that's been a really good motor here lately. So
nothing wrong with the Fusions whatsoever.
Space is an issue. It tends to.
If you're running brushed, the Castle Nano is the 1/18th scale controller, and I actually run one of those in my BRX-01.
Really?
On a brushed motor, and it holds up. It's a trail truck. It's not a comp truck by any means.
Yeah,
but the footprint of that controller is so small that, like, I just run a BEC with it, the 8.4 nano BEC for your servo voltage.
Yeah.
Good to go. And it's like super small. It's like the whole footprint would be less than the lens of a pair of glasses.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
especially like, scale trucks, and you're really trying to, you're limited on space.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I mean, a lot of the ultra scale, super scale guys, they're running really small transmissions with 380 motors just to really get that full depth interior.
Mm-hmm.
And running a nano on a 380 motor is actually where it's very efficient. The Holmes brushed motors, those little the 380 long cans. In the axial, the 18 scale UTB, that speed control and that motor is a great little combo. And I've run them in the Groms, that same little tiny speed control.
Oh, wow.
Great in a Grom.
Yeah, that's what I've been liking about, I was talking about the Fusion is I love that you just put a motor in and you got your lead, and calibrate it and do whatever you got, and that's it. You don't have to worry about the speed control, and it tends to have an issue sometimes trying to stuff stuff in a truck.
I got
Especially
you.
when you're trying to keep interior and all that, man. Sometimes you get to where you're limited on what you can put in them.
Yeah. And
As
there's
far as brush stuff,
limited
always
space
just
for all that wire.
yeah. As far as the brush stuff, we've always just ran like the 1080s, little Hobby Wing 1080, and then usually just homes. You know, like my boom truck has the it's got the Holmes, the black can. I can't remember which one it is. Torque Master, I think it's what that's what's in that one.
Isn't that one like the $25 one? Is that their?
This one was the $80 motor. It's the rebuildable brush motor.
Rebuildable brush. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super smooth.
Do you think you'll ever rebuild it?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Man, that's the problem. Is like, and we all have the same problem. It's like when you've got 13 and 14 trucks. I think that's what I have, and it's like I never drive the same truck all the time. You know, because it's like we go trailing, and it's like, okay, well, I really want to run this. It's been a while, or it's if I had one truck to probably run, I'd probably rebuild the motor. Eventually, you probably have to rebuild it. But and that's what's cool about having so many trucks. You know, people are like, you can't run them trucks all the time. Well, we went out 2 weeks ago and I ran 2 trucks while we were there. I ran one truck on a trail. We come back, got another truck. We went back on another trail. I usually take 2 trucks. The max is usually what I take when we go out for a day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You know, just for the fact of, you know.
Shout out Carryall.
Yeah. Bring the spare.
Yeah, bring a spare and.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer this question, but I have to go get the truck that he's asking about because it is not the RC10 6x6. So
go get it. I'll share a behind the scenes photo. You know what? I'll start the convo here while he's grabbing that. We had a conversation start up earlier today about finding the perfect action figure for your scale truck. And that was the convo that popped up was, you know, sizing and how creative you have to get. And I was like, I had a guy that had scale jeans on. I got slick and did an operation where I removed the thigh bone. So when he's sitting down, I just shrunk his legs up, put the jeans back on. You wouldn't know. You find certain ways to get creative. I had the Night Runner. I literally found a Michael Knight action figure, like a $40 action figure that was still sealed. This was a collector edition, sealed in a 1980 something box. This was still not open. This was not meant to be open. This was purely a collector. I opened the thing and I didn't bad enough I opened the box. So the last thing I didn't want to do was, you know, perform that Dremel surgery on him. So what I did was I cut a hole in the floorboard of the car. So now his feet stick out the bottom, but I didn't have to literally, like, you know, besides the shoe goo on him, he's not damaged.
So he's Flintstoning.
Yeah, he's Flintstoning out the bottom and it worked. But fun little tip, something did pop up that I was not aware of. So the WWE or WWF, the traditional muscle-bound action figures that tend to just, you know, end up in every truck.
Oh, yeah.
They started making the fans, the ones that are sitting. Did you know this?
Oh,
they
no.
make WWF fans. So now they're actually dressed sort of like civilian attire. So I found one while we were chatting. So let me just throw one up here. Share screen, boom, boom, Amazon. Share. This was an actual Rob Gronkowski action figure. This is falling under the WWE's fans.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a WWE fans action figure. So, you know, just kind of cool. So it's not the traditional, you know, what you would think. You know, they're still jacked up. It's Rob, but Yeah, it's worth probably going through and browsing WWE fans. So there's a fun little nod back to that. I had no idea it was an,
I didn't either.
I'm not usually happy with the the cut off white beater and jacked up muscles, but something a little different
Yeah.
in clothing.
I just print them.
Now, yes, you got the
Oh,
opportunity,
now.
and they thank you, James Knight. Shout out James Knight bringing
Hell
our
yeah.
bringing our action figures to life.
Oh, yeah.
With shifting and steering. So
I usually, so when I'm going for driver hunts, I go to comic book stores. Like this guy's probably actually going to end up in the boom truck.
what? Oh, okay. What is he? Who is it?
It's the guy from.
Oh, that was
It's a video
Walking Dead.
game.
Was it Walking Dead or no?
No, it's not Walking Dead. Oh man,
I feel like I know
I
it.
cannot remember.
I'm not a video game guy.
Yeah.
But I
Just
feel
to
like
let
I've
you-
seen him. I feel
Just
like
to let you know, the CJ7 driver from Knights Customs is the exact fit for the Boom Racing 88, the 109 series trucks.
Okay.
Fits perfectly. Gas pedal, the whole deal.
Really, no cutting whatsoever. Fits right in there.
Cutting. No cutting, no nothing. That's what's in my my blue truck. I just put a bag over his head because it was for a Halloween truck. So that was his costume. It was the unknown comic.
That's awesome.
And with the different heads for the CJ7 driver, you can do male, female. You can do quite a few different. It doesn't have to be Matt Kett.
Gotcha.
Like you can do a bunch of different ones. So just letting you know, there's an option.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So
And you can get it. And can get it from you, right?
Yeah, I'll print one. I do them in various scales too. So I have different sizes. You
Okay.
can, percentage change them, but the
Okay.
full size CJ7 fits perfect.
For the 88s and stuff you said?
Yep.
Okay.
So back to this thing.
what question are we answering here?
We're answering what was the six-wheel drive truck on my shelf. This is not the RC10 6x6. This is actually four-wheel drive. This was created, this madness. We'll see if anybody in the comments knows what this is based off of. But judging by the dirt, it was made a long time ago.
To me, it looks like a Traxxas. But
It is a Traxxas.
Okay. A Rustler.
No.
Bandit.
Older.
What was that? It was a buggy, right?
It was a buggy.
Not extended.
I'm stumped on that one.
This was the TRX-1.
TRX-1. Wow.
The Bullet.
Okay.
Basically. So this is two Bullet transmissions and a front end on a custom chassis made specifically to do this.
Wow.
It's not hacked together or anything. The chassis is the actual chassis, just extended for another transmission.
Nice.
This was made. You ready for this? This was made in 1988.
Whew.
No.
This was a brainchild of my mentor, Jerry Roscoff, who unfortunately passed away last year. This was his brainchild. So the power system that's in it now is the Traxxas EVX dual motor system from or this is an EVX2. It's been updated. This was the system out of the trying to think of the Traxxas truck that had the dual motors in it.
The T-Max?
Revo?
Yeah, the Emax.
Emax,
the first Emax.
Emax, yep.
Yeah, because this is actually a Novak controller.
Wow.
Rebranded. So yeah, this thing's been around. So this is now mine.
That's awesome.
My mentor's estate to get back into shape. So I've been collecting TRX1 OG parts for quite some time to be able to restore this because it's very old and very brittle plastics. But yeah, good eye, Harvey. You definitely found a unique one on my wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got a question for you all then. What is your favorite rig that you have?
Excellent.
Favorite. Favorite like
All
like
around.
if I had one
One
kid
truck.
to choose
Yeah.
in a fire, what would I grab?
Yes. I think that's worded perfect.
Without value attached to it.
Correct.
Sentimental.
More sentimental versus the dollar.
Which one?
Hmm.
Oh, okay, you haven't said yet.
I haven't said yet.
I mean, I have mine.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm thinking.
It's a weak pitch, but I guess it was my introduction sort of to the scale bug. It was a simple OG SCX10. I built it for Proline by the Fire in 2019-ish. I had a Freaky Skins wrap on it. Just a simple OG Honcho style. And I think for the sentimental, I never took that truck apart. It's still in the same condition, hanging right above my head here. And it's just one that's sacred. I just don't touch it. I don't steal anything off of it. It's kind of, I call it the first. It's not really, but
All right.
that's my pick.
So, good pick.
Yeah,
Mine-
good pick, sure.
Mine of all that's on the wall, I would say my Chevy, my green. It's really nothing fantastic. It's a TRX 4, but it has the Super Scale 2020 active suspension on it.
Oh wow.
Oh, I thought
And
you got rid of that one. Wow.
No.
Okay. Wow.
And
And was
I-
that a what's his name built that body then? Was that one of your boys crafted
No.
out of metal? No. Okay.
No, it's not a metal masher.
Metal masher.
No,
Okay.
the reason that I picked that truck, it makes me giggle every time I turn it on because it's got the active suspension, so it's always moving. But that was the first truck, the first RC car that my father ever drove, and it was at USTE, the last year of USTE. And that man, I spent my whole life with that man, and I had never heard him giggle. And he giggled like a little kid driving that stupid truck across and on those trails. And within 20 minutes, he was like a OG. Like he was rolling through, like he knew tire placement, he knew everything that he needed to know at probably the best largest scale event ever, and we didn't know it was happening at the time.
Yeah.
So I would pick that truck, just for sentimental, not value.
Yeah.
The one that's right behind it, I would put underneath the other arm and I would open the door with my foot.
Yeah.
That's the Ripper.
Oh yeah, grab the Ripper.
It'll at least pay for the deductible.
It'll pay for the damages, maybe. Yep, that would definitely, if I had a Ripper, that'd be like definitely the one I'd be grabbing for sure, no doubt.
Yeah. If it's blue and gold, it's got value.
So me, I would probably, like you all looking around in the room here, man. I'd probably have to. It's not even the crawler. I'd probably have to take the shop truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's valid. That thing put you on the map.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair enough.
like literally. I mean, you have gained a lot a lot of credibility and
with
you
the
know,
build.
trust in the hobby. You know, that truck really showed off
Smarter.
the color.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And your Instagram page is deep. I mean, there's a lot going on there. So yeah,
Seems to be
I would
seems
take
seems
that
to be growing every day, and
Mhm. Just keep posting pictures of that truck sitting in driveways, dude. Like, just take it at a different angle, different day, different time of day.
yeah,
Like you got gold.
yeah. That's just like the Ford I just got. The Ford I've been working on, the 4-door Ford. I took it to Jeremy's when we had the little scale day, and he's like, "Bring that thing down here. I want to check it out." And I just, had just done the patina work on it, and I took pictures of it in his driveway, and I've had so many people be like, "Oh, and I love when you take a photo of something that's not real, and people are like, when did you get that? When did you get a Ford? No Ford pickup. It's like, and but yeah, man, it's cool, and like I said, it's just the shop truck is just one of them things that means something a lot to me, and so that would probably be one I would grab, as far as my first pick.
Yeah.
I found a better shot of the WWE fans. I mean, down to the Jesus shoes on it. Like, thank you, Richard, for
Wow.
sending that. He did the deep dive. So
Wow.
I'm not BSing you. There is a such thing. You can find the wrestling fans.
What are the accessories on the side of the box?
I
What-
wish I could get in
Is
on
it
that.
popcorn, soda? Oh, the foam fingers.
Oh wow!
Holy
Wow. That's
crap.
why he's got that shape. to
Finger
his-
out, like
his
yeah.
hand.
It's already ready for it.
God,
That would be awesome.
Good Lord.
Well, I had an eye opener on the action figure nod. The traditional or the one that gets overplayed, the Back to the Future guy. Michael J. Fox is
Marty
when you're
McFly.
McFly.
Marty, but he came in a few different versions. He
Yeah.
came, different parts. The one where he's in his traditional street clothes outfit, he came with like a backpack, a
Mhm.
guitar, like
Yeah.
the scale accessories that it came with.
Mhm.
VHS recorder, like very cool.
Yeah.
I was geeking out over somebody's Forerunner today, and it was like, dude, where'd you get that backpack? He's like, it's Marty McFly's. I'm like, no shit. It actually came with some really cool stuff.
NECA. I think that's a NECA.
That's
NECA
the
brand.
NECA.
It is. It is. Good call.
They have some really good stuff.
Yeah.
I remember.
Good accessories.
I remember one time we went to. Like I said, usually I try to buy my figures at a comic book store.
Smart.
And I mean, one of the times at the time I was telling you about earlier, my buddy had a hobby shop and we had a room in his shop. But anyways, we literally could walk right to the comic book store. And so we'd be building trucks or working on something. And we're like, man, we got to go find a driver. We'll just walk right up to the comic book store. And I remember we had bought a few few action figures like Gilligan's Island. They had Gilligan and Skipper. And they actually have real clothes. They have clothes and stuff on. And I think they were, $25, $30. And I remember we bought them and something else. And I told the guy at the counter, I was like, I said, you're probably going to laugh. We're buying these guys and we're going to probably have to cut them up, and we're giving $25, $30 for them. He's like, don't bother me. Whatever you got to do, if that's your thing, man.
You're running through a wood chipper. I don't care.
Yeah.
$35.
Yeah, and because I know some of that stuff's collectibles.
Yeah.
People that collect action figures and stuff, and oh my gosh, can't believe you cut Gilligan up. You put him in one of your RC trucks. But so sometimes you just have to make that sacrifice.
Sometimes you do. Yes.
Yeah.
I was saying I probably spent $40 the 1 year when Proline came out with the Predator compound. I went out and I found the Alien and versus Predator action figure. So that year with the Predator compound and the Predator driver, like that's my creative nod back to Proline. Predator compound, Predator driver. a $40 sacrifice. I paid the money for the action figure, and it went to good use. Still sitting in the VS410 Origin behind me. It's not BS.
Jeez.
Yep. I've motored a few myself. You know,
Yeah.
taking them off at the knees or at the
Operation.
waist or
The operation with the Dremel.
Yeah.
Hold still.
Yeah. Usually,
Oh,
I'd rather not do that. It's nice to have a truck that's usually got a good size interior, full depth interior. You can just put a guy right in there. But
Yeah.
it's, I remember asking Josh one time of RC Every Day. He said, I've gotten so many questions of people, why don't you put drivers in your cars? You know, why don't you build these nice scale trucks, and how come you don't put a driver in them? And I think he was talking about, you know, someone had asked him that one time. He was telling me, he said, man, I can't stand to put a driver in a vehicle and you can see all their joints. And, you know, I just hate that you can see the joints and all that. It don't look real to me. And so he's like, I'll just go without a driver. You know, it doesn't bother me.
So this is an important question. What do you do with the body parts when you cut them off? Do you like have a fossil leg?
Hey, I have taken like shoes, like I've used the shoes and put them in the back of a truck or something like, oh man, it's got some cool shoes or some boots. And
That's clever.
I put them in the back of a truck or something.
I'd have thrown it away.
Yeah, most of the time it ends up in the trash.
Now, I'm not saying that I don't have like 30 or 40 Wild Willie drivers, but you know, I might have a drawer of those in different feet and shoes and arms. Yeah.
We really
for a long time we were just buying the Tamiya Bruiser guy, you know, the plastic guy that's all formed one piece, you know.
Yep.
I've still got I actually have a TF2 over there with one of them in it.
Yeah.
So.
The shame about those is they're 14th scale. So like the Tamiya driver, the tractor driver, trailer driver, the Wild Willis he fit in the VS410 seat pan. Whether people knew that or not, it was designed. James Knight designed that pan around that figure. So he would sit in there with his big helmet.
Oh,
with the Wild Willie one.
Wild Willie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of his stuff was designed around that.
Yeah. He's a Tamiya freak.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Tamiya freak.
That Wild Willie spent a couple years in the driver's seat across many cars. That Wild Willie.
Yeah, that's what's in the Chevy is a Wild Willie with my head on it.
Yeah. And this was you can see the guy there. That's an old Tamiya guy.
Yep. That's Bruiser driver.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't even realize that the tractor trailer screamed it so much. I just grabbed one time while we were at the hobby shop, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'll keep him around, but he is tiny.
Yeah, he is very tiny.
14 scale.
Yeah. For the semis.
Yeah. But
printing them is definitely the way.
That will be the driver for the Zill.
What, the 14th?
Yeah.
Really?
Because that interior is very small.
Yeah, it looks to be very small.
It's very small. It's a 12 scale truck.
Gotcha.
So, and it's in its smallest wheelbase, or next to the smallest wheelbase. So it's a little smaller than what people are used to.
Yeah, but I've noticed that in pictures and stuff. It looked like it was a smaller truck.
Yeah, so you can pull that wheelbase right out to exactly on a TF2 body, and it'll tuck tires all day on leafs. So
nice.
Just saying.
Just saying. Yep.
Saying.
Yep. Did you build yours? Like when you built the boom trucks on the Leaf, have you always built them in the soft suspension?
I'll say it this way: there's a reason that the manual gives you the suggested setup, because it is absolutely dead on. Whatever's in the manual is what that truck will be at full body weight with full battery weight. That's the way we wrote the manual. So if you go, you can't really go single spring on them. It just doesn't. The spring will not hold it.
Yeah.
It looks like you're always building it to be too stiff, but when you drive it, it's right.
Yeah. So I did this one with the soft. The reason I was asking, and but it's got so it's not monoleaf. I went back and put the second long spring on it.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, just sitting here on the bench, man, it feels really good. I can't wait to actually get it out.
Now, when you go out and you drive it, you're gonna be like, yep, it's too soft. I mark my word. You will definitely want a little more tension on it.
Probably add another spring to it, probably.
Yeah, the short
one.
Yeah.
It'll
beef it up right at the axle, and that's kind of where you want it. If you really want it to flex,
got you.
Add the shortest one, but drive it first. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because they're heavy.
They're really they are. Heavy. Yeah, it's a heavy truck for sure.
Yeah.
But man, that's the second boom kit I've built out of the box, and no complaints whatsoever. I mean, they've got them kits figured out to a T.
Yeah.
Nice, everything fits good. I've not had, like I said, this is my second new out of the box build, and everything has went together perfect. I've not had any issues with fitment, or this ain't right or anything. I mean, it's just great builds. I mean, they're nice kits, and I think that's what some people don't understand is, man, that's $800 kit, but I mean, you get what you pay for, man. It's just a nice rig. I mean, they're nice. Everything about it's nice. No corners cut at all on these trucks.
Yeah, there's not like purpose fail parts included in it, like some janky plastic important part that you see in some of the other trucks that they want you to buy a metal upgrade. It's all there. It's all
there.
Plastic is in the right places. Metals, it's all reinforced. It's very well thought out.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the single speed transmission they're coming out with, is that going to be direct bolt in to the kits that are already here?
Yes.
So you won't have to change anything. You'll just put the single speed transmission in.
Yep. Put a single speed.
Awesome.
Yeah. That was one of my sticking points when I was asked, what would you do different in the ZIL? And I was like, we don't need a 2-speed. Those trucks are fast as heck in second gear. There's no reason for it with current brushless motors. A single speed covers the range. It doesn't need to be, you don't need to do burnouts with this thing.
No.
And it was a little contested when I said single speed. They were like, yeah, but 2-speed. I was like, you don't need it. It's just one more mechanical thing that's unnecessary in today's modern electronics. You just don't need it.
That's just like with the TF2s. That blue truck that I just had, that was the truck I was telling you, it had A&M stuff, and I built that. It was a stock 2-speed 2-speed TF2, and I completely redone that whole truck. And I took the 2-speed out and bought a brand new, I bought a single speed. And all my TF2s are single speed, and that's the way I'd rather have them. Years ago I had, TRX4 and stuff. Not that I have anything against them trucks. Just, I said the same thing. I was like, I'm not worried about 2-speed. I ain't worried about shifting gears or nothing. I just rather it be one gear and just go.
Yeah. It's just one less thing. Like for like electronics, I like rock race mode because then I can run it on a trail and let it freewheel instead of drag brake instantly. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm crawling it, I can just throw on that rock race mode and throw in my drag brake.
Nice.
When I need it.
Yeah.
I'd rather electronically control it than try and worry about what, if I'm in first or second gear or whatever, and then accidentally roll it off of a cliff or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's man, I'm sure we all seen a lot of changes over the years too. I've got over 13 years in the hobby, well over 13, probably.
Wow.
But it's funny how I've seen, you see so many changes,
Oh yeah.
and that's with when I was messing with scale trucks when I was racing, but then when I quit racing off road, I've seen it a whole lot more too. The racing, you see it a lot as it is anyways. It seems like every few months it's a new platform.
Yeah.
And I went from, I ran Associated, and then I went to low C's. And when I quit racing, I was running all low C vehicles. And it's like, man, it's like, huh?
You froze for a second, but you're good.
Oh.
But yeah, it's when you're racing, man, it's like, I'd have the new platform, and it's like a month later they got another new buggy out, and it's like, and then at the time, with racing, you might have last year's model in the hobby shop you're racing at. A lot of the places we raced had hobby shops, which is awesome for when you're racing.
Yeah.
You broke something, you went in there and got it, and you could be back on the track. But then when you had last year's model or the year before, when you went in there and you broke an A-arm or a shock tower or something like that, it was kind of slim pickings, and you're like, man, it's kind of hard to, you just kind of felt like you was keeping up with the Joneses sometimes. But that's what's awesome about the scale trucks or the crawlers, scale trucks or whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, you not, if you have a car that was a couple years old, if you drive them sensible, and you don't have to really worry about it as much, like you do racing. It seems like.
Sure.
Yeah, like the TRX4 at this point, like it's ready for its driver's license. Like it's aging to the point where it's getting old.
Yeah.
like yeah, some of these kits that we're still running could be going to college. So,
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, just look at how long has the Trail Finder 2 been out?
Forever. Yeah.
Well,
I can't,
everything.
I remember when it was the Trail Stomper. And then now it's the TF2. Like I remember the Trail Stomper, the TF1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they should have probably chased a different model when they did that. But who am I?
Yeah. Yeah. Which the TF3 didn't seem to stick around too long.
No, they took that thing out back and shot it.
Yeah, probably the best thing for it.
Deservingly. Yes. That was worth every gram of gunpowder used in that round.
But,
all right. What do you think, Jeremy? The clock on the wall says TNT. We're going to round this thing around the block so Jeremy can go eat his lasagna.
Yep, I'm going to go eat some pizza.
It smells so good. I haven't even looked at it yet.
I still have a corned beef. I don't know. Corned beef might not be a thing where you are, but we found a hoagie spot today.
Oh, nice.
Here, I was told this is the hoagie spot. We went around and about. We went out to WRRC. We went backtrack, and I am so glad we did. So I have a hoagie.
I think I have. I think the wife got pizza for us down there.
Ooh. I'll never say no to pizza.
Nope.
All
not at all.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna go twofold. I'm gonna give us a transition. Rules are simple. We'll get the audio down, a light fade in the background, not overpowering. A light fade in the background. I got Dreamer staring at me over here. I gotta close this off the stage.
Yeah, that picture is disturbing.
Did you see that? Is that up on the screen somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm like, Dreamer, stand by that car. Oh, they did that up right. Alrighty. So We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it lighthearted. We'll keep it fun. You know the rules. We do not need an explanation. We are under a time crunch. We are going rapid fire. We will give no examples, but we'll say simple call or text. You just fire right back. You ready? The first question is call or text.
Call.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Army or Navy?
Army.
Cocoa or Fruity Pebbles?
Fruity Pebbles.
Are you a Flintstones or more of a Jetsons?
Flintstones.
Boom. F. Sorka or yeah, Sorka?
F. Sorka.
Go to bar or go to a church?
Go to the bar.
Rattle can or airbrush?
Rattle can.
Oh, we know the answer to this one. A rust bucket or bring the bling?
Rust bucket.
Are you more of an Autobot or a Decepticon?
Autobot.
Pizza or Chinese food?
Oh my goodness. Pizza.
All right. Boom. In a what am I thinking here? Casino, blackjack or slot machine?
Slot machine.
Lexan or hard body?
Hard body.
Cheeseburger or a hot dog?
Cheeseburger.
Brushed or brushless?
Brushless.
Jeep or truck?
Truck.
Jack it up or slam it down?
Slam it down.
These were tailor-made for you tonight. Win the lottery or meet your soulmate?
Win the lottery.
Flat rail or sea channel?
Sea channel.
Hunting or fishing?
Hunting.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
An action movie or comedy?
Action.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
Samsung or iPhone?
iPhone.
Would you rather meet yourself 10 years in the future or 10 years in the past?
10 years in the past.
UFO or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Air guitar or air drums?
Air guitar.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
BMX or skateboard?
Skateboard.
Crocs or flip-flops?
Crocs.
Monster truck or NASCAR?
Monster truck.
X Games or Olympics?
X Games.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Turbo or nitro?
Turbo.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Deadpool or Wolverine?
Wolverine.
Iced tea or lemonade?
Iced tea.
White milk or chocolate milk?
Chocolate milk.
Red Bull or Monster?
Monster.
Black or white?
Black.
And that maybe, yeah. All right.
Might want to scratch that one off.
If somebody wants to chop that up and edit it, and that
Just
little,
Just
there's
put a
whole
line
lot
through
of
that one, Mike.
context with the black. All right, black or
Yeah, let's
white.
just put a line through that one.
You'd rather me do the Fox News or CNN question over the one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Elon or Donald Trump?
Wow.
I'm joking. I just made that one up on the fly. Sorry.
So don't answer that.
Nerd or geek?
Nerd.
Boom. We're coming around the corner here. Are you stay on the porch or let's go?
Let's go.
Steak or lobster?
Steak.
Boom. You gotta fart. Squeeze your cheeks or let it rip.
Let it rip.
There you go. All right. So quick high five. Give me your favorite. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Favorite RC car.
Favorite RC car? RC10 Gold Pan.
Good for you. Favorite movie.
Christine.
Wow, good one. Band or favorite band, or we'll take song also.
What was it now? Oh, favorite band.
Band.
Favorite band. Favorite band. Lamb of God.
Oh wow! Look at you.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So you would have enjoyed the Pantera concert, I guess. Wow. Favorite food.
Pizza.
Pizza. One person, dead or alive, you pick it. Be stuck on a deserted island. One person, dead or alive, you can take them with you.
My wife.
Good for you. We're getting you lucky tonight. Got them both right. Hope she's watching. If not, we'll send her a link. All right. That is it for there. Let's put an end to that Jeopardy music. You survived a round of this and that. We kept it family fun. Kept it in the safe zone.
Mostly.
That sums it up perfectly. That's my life. Mostly. You can fill that in anywhere. So I guess I need to know, where would somebody be able to see you next in person? What is your next event?
Jeremy's beach party in August.
No shit. Okay. He was on here last week hyping that up. Where were we? August?
1st of August.
1st of August. Fantastic. I like the vibe he's dropping there. Beach party theme.
Yep.
I guess, do you have anything specific? Are you gonna take surfboards, scale surfboards or something? Kind of push the vibe. My FJ40 is like dialed for the beach. It's surfboard sucking off the back. It does not look right driving anywhere else. You won't put this FJ40 in the snow in the wintertime. It's
nice. Yeah, that'd be the next event. Yep.
Next event. Okay, perfect. And honestly, you wanted to think about August, but honestly, it'll be here before you know it. I hate to rush it. I do not want to rush the summer in any way, shape, or form, but unfortunately, we'll be talking about this event like it's over before you know it.
I know it. Just like Beat the Creek came and gone.
Came and gone. All that prep and work, and you guys, on that note, you put a lot of work into the show and shine for them. That was like your baby. And I know you had to, make things up as you go, because you cannot tell me it was held in the barn. That was not where it was planned. No. There's no way.
No. Luckily, I did get ahead of. Luckily, I messaged Joe a few weeks prior.
Right.
Because we went down 2 weekends and helped and worked and stuff. And I told him, I was like, man, we need a backup plan. I was like, is there any way I could use the shop, the big shop? Is there any way we could, if we have to?
Isn't that where RC Jesus is usually at? Like with isn't that the spot where they're digging dirt and?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He didn't.
he didn't show, right? Yeah, he didn't come to this.
Yeah, he said that as far as Joe though, when I asked him about it in the barn, he's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, well, what? I know you do the semi stuff in there. What about that? And he's like, well, we're not really pushing that hard this year, so shouldn't be a big deal. So luckily we got to do it in there, and looking forward. So I guess that's going to be our baby from here on out. So
no kidding.
I told Joe we'll take it over. So I told him that we're willing to handle it every year. So
good deal.
He was excited.
I guess you could have a lot of fun with that. Then you could take a vibe from like Proline by the Fire. They'll put out their comic, or they'll put out some sort of a theme. If you wanted to, you could toss that out there for the show and shine, have something specific.
Yeah. And that's what was cool about it, and big shout out to Spaz Prince. He came forward and I talked to him, and he was able to make the trophy, so that was a big help coming from him.
Perfect.
He sponsored the plaques and stuff, and but yeah, man, that's what was cool about it. Joe's like, it's your all's thing, do what you want. As long as only thing I ask is you come up with 4 categories, and that was the only thing that we had to come up.
Is that what it was? 4?
Yeah,
4? Okay.
Yeah, he just wanted us to come up with 4 categories. That's the only thing that come on his end. Everything else was all up to us.
Will that be for next year then also? Are they posted anywhere?
Not yet. He hasn't said anything to it, me about it or anything like that. So we'll just see what next year holds. But yeah, the plan was to hold it in front of. We was going to hold it right out in front of us. We were in the middle. He put us in the middle this year in Vendor Row.
Oh,
for that reason, to have the show and shine right in front of us. But like you said, Mother Nature had other plans.
Plans.
And I couldn't thank Jeremy Griffith and Chris DeGraff, Hemi Storm. Another great guy, man. He was willing to help and wanted to be a judge, and he's done a good job. And Jeremy, Jeremy's always there for us if we need anything. And so having them guys was good, man. Big help from them guys as well.
Yeah, you guys, you're all out there know how to support one another. We've been fans of the way you guys support each other, one and all. It's no secret. You all stick together and work together and cheer each other on. So shout out to that. It's a good vibe.
Oh yeah.
No jealousy and cheering each other on. That's the way it should be.
You gotta keep it fun.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
And we're all here to help each other. That's what's about it. I don't care to, I'm still learning. I'm always learning myself.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I learn with every project we do. I'm learning something new. So no secrets here. I mean, I'll share whatever. And I love I love getting other people's ideas.
Oh yeah. And that's the beauty of social media, inspiring, hopefully inspiring ideas. I'd love to share a post and find out that somebody, dude, I liked what you did there, not necessarily copying it. Hopefully it triggers an idea for you to run with something like, oh yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's scary when that old man up in the right hand corner there start talking about he's still learning like that. That's scary.
Oh yeah,
that old guy's been around.
There's still challenges out there, man.
And Jeremy and Jeremy himself, man. Even if you wasn't here, Jeremy, you're an inspiration as well, man. I love what you do too, and I look up to all the guys that
WWJD,
the OGs that have been into it for a long time. That's the inspiration for me as well. I mean, like that's what I've told. Jeremy and Josh and, knowing them guys and stuff and other people, like Jeremy Kilborn yourself, man, it's to see people still have that kind of passion that have been into it for this long is something, and it's inspiration to us guys that have got as many years into it as you all do. So keep up the good work.
Right. Thank you.
Hoorah. Well said. So Busted Rust, that is it on Instagram. Did I get that right? Busted_Rust_garage.
Yep.
I encourage everyone to go follow his page, take the deep dive, go enjoy it. I love seeing an Instagram page that's not 12 things in a row of the same thing. You're very clicky. You'll get this truck one day and something else the next day. I like seeing that. Try to, should the portfolio a little bit.
Yeah, I try to keep it fresh as much as possible.
Good for you. No, you're doing a great job with it. It's time consuming. It's not a young man's game. That timestamp of BC is not before Christ. It was before COVID, and there was a life in this RC hobby, BC. And you were here, you've been putting in the work, it shows, and we can only encourage you to keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
A couple of fans over here, Jeremy and I, are cheering you on to keep doing your thing.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. You were a true joy. And who's your homie? Don, is it?
Yeah.
Say that, yeah. Shout out Don. So maybe next time we'll get you both in there one night.
That'd be awesome.
Chilling out on a
Yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll have to do a Friday night special.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we'd
that'd be
be
sick
down
as
for-
hell. Yeah,
we'd
come up.
we'd do that for sure.
Theme it
Yeah.
out with something. Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to be rude here. This is when I kind of have to just kind of cut you
I
off at the
understand.
neck, and this is how we say our goodbyes. So
I understand.
I'm still going to get yelled up at Jeremy. Like, dude, that was rude.
I understand. I thank you again for the opportunity and keep love what y'all are doing and just keep up the good work and thank you for the support for everybody and you all as well. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Our pleasure. Say it. That was rude. There was no easy way. I was gonna do it mid sentence and just be a real prick. He was like really
Just
into
pull the
it.
pin.
I was
pull
really
it.
gonna just yank
Just
it.
pull the pin. Pull the pin.
Oh, nothing but love. Austin's killing
Yes,
it. That's
yes.
fantastic.
What,
All right.
What a great personality. Good job.
Seriously, yeah. I think Joe Hawkey and the rest of the Beat the Creek family have they got lucky. They got a good person in their marriage there. It works well. Makes the event successful when you've got people working around you like that helping.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you were able to find a little time in your busy schedule, sir, in between the move and doing all your thing. I know life is hectic right now.
Mhm.
So thank you, sir. I want you to go enjoy your, what is it again? Lasagna or ziti? What was it?
Lasagna.
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 Meat,
Hey,
veggie, meat. What do we got in there? Did you get it?
I haven't a clue.
You
I
haven't even
assume there's
dissected
meat in
it.
it.
Okay.
They don't look like herbivores next door. So
Okay. Okay. Well,
hey,
we'll let you
before
go.
I run away,
Yep.
I was able to finish my big project for Cal
Oh.
RC.
Okay.
So those parts have shipped. So they should be available soon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the tray system for the bigger ultrasonic cleaner.
Ultrasonic.
You
Okay.
get the tray and the interior grid that goes in the bucket. And as soon as those go live, if you look real closely, if you want to put a little bling in your game, I'll have the colored covers available on my Etsy.
Look at
So
you, Joe.
these are the same carbon design, carbon fiber patterns.
Yep. In colors now.
And Cal Green. So those will be on my Etsy store, just the covers. Once the Cal product is available for sale. So
You'll allow people to customize their insert tray in their.
yeah, it's just the cover, the lid
okay.
cover. Yeah.
So it is seen. All right. Yeah. Hey, that's an accent piece. We've seen few of those setups, trackside. Like some of them with these cowboys, they've got some dope ass
when
setups.
they do their graphics, like if they want to match it up.
Yep. Accent of color. There you go.
They'll be out there.
Oh, look at you go.
Cool. All right, I'm ready to eat.
Same here.
It's been great. Thank you everybody for all the messages and the well wishes. Next Saturday might be a little struggle for me. I'll be on an iPad. I'll be back in Maryland next weekend.
Okay, we'll play it lightly.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
I will be packing. We will be this time next Saturday night. I will be loading the vehicle. We'll be on our way to Ocean City, New Jersey.
New Jersey, Ocean City.
NJ, OCNJ, our traditional family getaway to OC, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll be making
because that's the same. Yeah. Next weekend we won't do a show.
Well, we can. We'll play by ear. Maybe we can record something earlier Friday or something. We'll find a time. We've
Yeah.
been talking about
Yeah.
recording something. You know what? If we're gonna record it, I would love to. I'll say it out loud. Desmond Mooney. Somebody tag Desmond. I would love to get him in here. Tag him
Yeah,
now. He
get him
said
in
he'll
for-
do the show if we can record it. He just
Oh,
can't
okay.
take time away on a
I got
Saturday
you.
night
Yeah,
at
it's
8
prime
p.m.
time.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's his prime time. He's like, I'll come hang out any other time, but
Okay.
so, well, we've been talking about recording it. So Des,
right.
listen up. We're gonna hunt you down.
Cool.
And
Cool.
I think Des has got a lot on his plate. He's always, and we could talk one-to-one shit with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
It's
He'd be a
uncomfortable.
great podcaster.
Seriously. That man could sell square wheels and people would buy them. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He'd offer sizes. All right, brother.
All right. Yep. We'll pull this out of here
Pull the
while you're
plug.
yapping. Pull the plug. We're going to do it quickly and we'll let you go and eat. Promise. I'm looking. Yeah, you're going to look around the corner. I'm almost tempted just to click on something. All right. There we go.